Alright, it's a Sith Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into the microphone, and I continue with Dragon Commander. Now, last time I was utterly defeated, so because all my autosaves were in a rather unfavorable position, I decided to retry from the beginning of Act 3. I will try to utilize my forces a little better this time and not leave my capital undefended. Not what I wanted to do, but also not just a bit of a waste of money, but yeah, I will. Maybe I can take this as well. Though I was being greedy the last time and it didn't really it didn't really work for me, but I can't help it. I'm usually quite aggressive when it comes to strategy games. Often pay the price. Rather bold attack. Enough troops were down to end it. all things considered, it didn't go that bad. Now I will save, preferably even each turn, just in case I lose again and have to restart. This is a great place for a gold mine. Okay, I'll try not to advance too quickly, because it spelled my doom the last time. Although, as I said, I'm quite tempted.
Commander, undoubtedly you have heard of the famed elven cheese Gorgon Beurre, made from the best rabbit milk in Rivellon. It is a product we pride ourselves in, an artisan delicacy of the highest standing. The imps, however, have made some sort of synthetic knockoff that they are selling for a fraction of the true Gorgon Beurre's price. They even gave it the same name. We want you to protect our product and outlaw the counterfeit cheese the imps are selling.
So basically, yeah, regional products. Yeah, I think it's reasonable to, because it basically works in a similar way to trademarks. Like, you have the name of the original product and a sort of traditional recipe, and I think, like, the imps should be allowed to sell their cheese, but they shouldn't be allowed to call it the same and pretend it's the same regional cheese, so...
I find myself siding with Oberon, Commander. Famed are the undead's marrow macaroons, and I would abhor ignoble impish imitations.
That's strange that he...
Oberon is just belly aching again, Commander. If the imps have the smarts to produce Gorgon Beurre at such low costs, that merely proves they're smarter than the elves. Besides, it's just some stinking bit of cheese we're talking about. Not like they're aping ale.
One can hardly blame the imps for grasping an economical opportunity. If the elves feel disadvantaged, well, it's up to them to retaliate with new and better products.
But the thing is about the name, the protection of the brand.
Hoity-toity, high and mighty elves. Who do they think they are? As if they're the only ones allowed to make rabbit cheeses, and rubbish ones
Not
at
the
that.
point.
Give it a couple of years, and Gorgon Beurre will be called an imp product. For what we make better than everybody else.
Nah, I think I will institute protection for regional products. because of the brand protection, not because I don't want anyone else to be allowed to make cheese, but the cheese, the named thing, it's a regional elf product, so I don't think, to me, it works in a similar way as trademarks do, as I said, so yeah.
Thank you, Commander. Trinculo may object now, but if we were to sell a cheap variant of Grumio's gunpowder, it'd be he who'd cry havoc.
Well done. If it takes laws to protect us from impish shenanigans, then by the seven we must write them, even if they be secular.
What good are artisan delicacies if only the rich can afford them? Mass production of cheap crap with the same name gives the populace the idea they're enjoying
that's the
something
problem.
special, whereas the rich can still get hold of the real deal. It's a win-win situation you just tossed out of the window.
To protect the good name of a product is one thing, Commander, but to throttle an entire economy because of it is another. I'm not so sure you thought this through.
So, you're shutting down our factories because the elves feel threatened by a superior version of their reeking rabid cheeses? Bah! Imps will lose their jobs because of them weird-eared sore losers. There's no justice in that.
I think I should be ready for dancing on this street here. And maybe here as well. That's unfortunate. I think I will just have to. But at least he burned his cards. Really strong mercenary cards. some pretty strong mercenary cards. Well, so... Maybe this one is enough. Barely. Though. Yeah, probably. Okay. Actually, I think I can save the card for better occasions. Especially because air troops can't take territories, so... Okay, I thought I would have won that.
Commander, the great lizard artist Della Gecko has made a sculpture that is, I admit, critical of the government. He is a pacifist and dislikes the brutality of war. But is this reason enough to ban its exposition? Yorick here says yes, but surely you don't agree.
Yeah, obviously I don't. I don't think it's even necessary to explain why censoring the works critical of government is a bad idea. But I will listen to them anyway because it's...
When one is critical of the Emperor,
fun.
one is critical of the gods, for they have seen it fit to give him his throne. And when one is critical of the gods, one should be silenced and shackled, for one does not insult the Seven unpunished.
Of course, there are people in the kingdom who eye our politics with disapproval. What kind of land would we live in if every nose and snout would face the same direction? Some opposition is a good thing. Keeps us on our toes.
What do I care if this lizard supports or opposes the government? As long as I'm up here and he's down there, he can do whatever he wants, as long as I still make the decisions. Exhibit away!
Censorship.
Oh damn it, I didn't... Can I... That was before.
It has come to my attention, Commander, that the government is spending an awful lot of money funding
I had this...
So you'll...
Good. And there's an end to prosper.
Yeah, I had this decision anyway, so... I mean, already. Do I think they are randomized or something? Okay, this is a really well defended place. Need more troops to take it. At least he will waste his cards on this, so... I think it's necessary to take this card now, so I won't leave it for the future. There we go. Okay, now for another second. couple of juggernauts as well, taking advantage of that discount. I can't really take myself that either.
Commander, I would like to raise a concern about public decency. Now, if certain men feel the apparent need to cavort with one of their own sex, I suppose that's their business, not mine. It becomes my business, however, when they engage in affection publicly. There I am, lunching in the park with my family, when my children have to witness two of their sort making out like teens in heat. Disgusting displays like that should be forbidden. And indeed, that is exactly what I am asking you to do.
Thank you, Frankie. Now, obviously, to me, it's equally disturbing past a certain threshold of affection, let's say, if somebody is deep-throating his significant other in the middle of the... Although, I don't think that's the word I wanted, because that's a different sexual act altogether. What I meant is, you know, really hardcore, passionate kissing and whatever. Not the other kind of deep-throating. But yeah, if somebody does that in public, it's uncomfortable to me, even if it's the opposite gender, so it doesn't matter to me. And obviously to single out gay people like that is nonsense, which is of course the exact reason why Yorick will be in favor.
Sir Falstaff is absolutely correct, Commander. Those deviants he describes insult the Seven with their perverted practices, and should not only be outlawed, but ostracized as well.
What an old prude Falstaff is. If a boy and a girl can sit on a park bench and kiss the afternoon away, why not two boys or two girls?
Exactly.
Is their love worth less or less beautiful? No, of course not. And to make the distinction is ridiculous.
Sir Silvervein is making an ass out of himself, Commander. Instead of shielding his children from so-called aberrants, he had better teach them a lesson or two about tolerance and liberty. As it stands, it would seem you'll have to teach him those lessons by denying his outrageous request.
Dwarves and their yammering. If you feel an itch, you have to scratch. And we imps don't care what that itch is, or who does the scratching.
Yeah, so I won't ban it.
Perhaps you enjoy the sight of two men performing intricate feats of tongue wrestling, Commander.
Tongue wrestling.
But me,
That's
It
a
cost
cool
me my
expression.
bloody lunch. Soon the parks will be full of them, and my family will have to dine indoors. What about our rights? What about decorum?
He who allows travesty to thrive prospers by perversion and slights the sacred seven. Align with sin, Commander, and with sinners you will spend eternity, forced to undergo their unnatural ways. If that doesn't keep you up at night, I don't know what will.
Love does not discriminate, Commander. I'm very glad you don't either.
The lesson was hammered home, Commander, if not well received. Let Falstaff continue to gripe if he must, though. What is important is that his appeal was denied. For is not the pursuit of happiness one of the fundamental ambitions of life? Who are we to stand in its way?
Well spoken, Commander. Boy, that Falstaff really is something else. Two men can't smooch in public, but a dragon can marry an elf, a lizard, or whatever species takes his fancy. Talk about your double standards.
Exactly. But I'm still in a bit of a... Okay, I'll deal with this side of the battlefield first. I'm not sure if I have enough. Yeah, especially like to take back the region with the gold mine. To be honest, I think I'm doing even worse than the last time. And then I at least conquered this and this part. sure if I'm in a decent enough position to be saving, but can't hurt if I'm saving on a different slot anyway. Oh, okay, so there goes that region. either didn't see that or okay, it's mostly mercenaries and stuff. I thought this region was empty. Oh, that a colossal failure. To me, I'm losing once again. I think I will retry from the from the last save, but it will be next time. I'll just do that, remind myself, and try again in the next one. So see you in the next one. Bye.